there, everybody. We're recording now. But that was a lot of data to absorb, right? And you need to take that back to your boards and reconsider that information again and possibly have a visioning exercise with your entire club. It's not too late to do a membership plan at this point in the year. It's just simply not. Quite frankly, it's never too late to do a membership plan. So even if for some reason you get focused on something else and this is something that you decide to work on in November, that's fine too, but you really should start putting something together. In your first year, it doesn't have to be labor intensive, folks. I can give you a template where it gives you the basics of, a very basic membership plan. But you would be remiss if you were not able to hand over to somebody like, say, your district governor, Peter Kyle, myself, somebody, this is our membership plan. This is how we are going to go attack recruiting new members and engaging the ones that we have. They're just very important. Anything you commit to paper is usually something that people are willing to commit to long term. So I've planned on asking how many of you have a membership plan, but I don't want people to get anxious about it. But let's just put it this way, in a survey that I did, 15% of our clubs reported that they had membership plans. 15%, no bueno. This is not good, okay? A lot of us have many business people, very successful business people in our clubs. They would never run their business without a plan, right? So especially if you are in a leadership position, I encourage you to make that a focus. And one of the things that I'm calling upon clubs to do is to have some form of a membership plan in place before we meet on September 19th for our membership summit. And I hope you'll join us there as well, because we have a wide variety of subjects that we're going to discuss at the membership summit. So my next thing is, and I have a very difficult time sitting and presenting because I used to be a teacher, so I'm used to, hey, how are you doing, Raj? What's going on with you, Nellie? Ron, good to see you. So I'm struggling at the moment, but we are about to go to RI because I want to let you know that oftentimes when I'm talking to clubs, they want resources. And I keep saying, well, have you checked out Rotary International's website? And it's almost like they're like, what? And there are thousands of resources. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll walk through some of them. Where did it go? Okay. So let's say that you have logged into my Rotary, and this is what my page looks like. And for the most part, this is what your page would look like as well. So this is the member center. Here you are, you're a member, and you can click over here on what do you want to do. You can view and update your profile, which I think is a good idea for you to do regularly. If you were in Ashley's public image thing, you can download logos. See that? So if you wanted to make masks for your club, to prepare for some sort of outdoor engagement activity, you can download your logos there. You can make a donation where it will automatically draft off of a credit card or a debit card, whatever you would like. This is your giving history, if you want to double check on that. You can register for the convention. You can check out the directory. You can take an online course. You can read news about Rotary. You can find a document, update your data, run reports, view or set club goals, apply or manage a grant. You can join a discussion group. You can look at projects on Rotary Showcase, and you can learn how to use the website. That one box right there is overwhelming to me, because whether you're a member or a leader in your club, that box right there prepares you for just about anything you need to be successful in growing your membership. It truly is. But I'm going to take you to a different section. Look over here. If somebody were to log in and they're interested about Rotary, this is what they're going to see. And there's a box right here that says join us. Do you see it? It says tell us why you're interested in Rotary and we'll help you get started. So you know how many of you have heard about how we send you leads from the district? When somebody utilizes this area right here, this is where that lead comes from. Somebody from somewhere in the world that is living or working in our area has done this action right here. They've clicked that they want to join a Rotary Club. And then it'll say get started, and it asks them for their name, their address, an email, a phone number. What RI does is it has an algorithm that says, okay, based on this address, this is where this lead should begin. Okay, so when I'm sending clubs leads, I'm not just randomly doing it Harry Carey. I'm not deciding, oh, well, I think the Brunswick Club needs leads, okay? And this guy lives in DC. We are utilizing the information that the lead puts in here. So I call them, I send them a welcome email, and then I call or text them, and we get into a dialogue, because sometimes the email or the address that they've given is their home address, but maybe they want a club that's closer to work. And we filter those things out. Now that you guys are having your meetings online, it's actually been a boon, because now leads can visit clubs a lot easier without a whole lot of time commitment in terms of travel time, and get a feel for the club. So this is where your leads come from. Look here where it says refer new member. This is where you can put in the name of a friend, a coworker, somebody that you've come across maybe at one of your events, and you click on that and it does the same thing. It asks you for their name, an email, a phone number, and an address. Same thing, it goes in there. The benefit of you putting in your leads, your prospects into the RI system is this, everybody. When that happens, it goes to the district. It goes to Sonia. Sonia takes a look at it, then she uploads it into DACDB. When it hits DACDB, I go in, take a closer look at it, contact them via email, phone, or text, depending on which one they answer first. And then in that refer a new member, it gives you a box, and you can say, this person is interested in the Rotary Club of Carroll Creek. So if it says something specific like that, then I'm going to contact Carroll Creek. Again, the beauty of it is this. When you guys are cultivating your organic leads, meaning people that you come across, and you don't let Rotary International know, a couple of things happen. One, Rotary International doesn't know how many leads are sitting out there. And you might think, well, it's none of their business. This is about my club, not anybody else. But it does make a difference. It makes a huge difference, because if Rotary doesn't understand how many people are out there looking to become Rotarians, they make decisions based on data. Your business makes decisions based on data. There's making decisions based on your heart, your gut, but Rotary International can't afford to do that, right? We're an organization of 1.2 million plus people. When they don't know what the data is, who's looking to join, is it men, is it women, is it millennials, is it seniors, who is it, then they're going to prioritize the resources that they develop for all of us based on that data. So the more people, the more prospects we put into the system, into Rotary International, the better it is for all of us, okay? So, and I have been working with your club membership chairs on taking any prospects that they have and putting them in this refer a member portal. It doesn't do anything. That lead's not going to go to some other club, okay? Because it's being identified as the club that turned in the lead, but it just gives all of us more information. Down here, you want to rejoin or you want to change clubs, you can find information here. Rotary Global Awards, this is like discounts on travel, hotels, dining. You would be shocked at what you can get in there. I use Rotary Global Rewards regularly now. I'm basically an addict. It tells you how you can find out more about the convention. Over here toward the left, it tells you about the Rotarian magazine that you can get online. And then it's got a bunch of resources and reference. You want information on membership materials? Check this out. We're going to click it and we're going to go visit together on a little virtual field trip. Shabam! So this is the official launch of our membership information. Check out this cute video.
As Rotary, we often ask ourselves, how do we grow personally, professionally, and organizationally? The answer is simple. To grow Rotary, we need more Rotary clubs. Let's use Anytown as an example. Anytown is a city of 100,000 people and home to one proud Rotary club. But there are hundreds of other people of action, just like us, who are uniquely qualified to become Rotary members. They share the same drive and represent the values and fundamentals of a Rotary member. So why aren't they members? Well, the current club meets on Monday. There are leaders in Anytown who can't meet on a Monday. By excluding this segment, the potential members in Anytown has shrunk. Now consider, what if the meeting is at noon on Monday? There are people who can meet on Monday, but can't meet at noon. So now we have a smaller audience for Rotary in Anytown. Of the remaining group, some aren't interested in a club with a sit-down lunch and speakers. They are passionate about service, but aren't interested in a traditional club experience. And that is okay. The Rotary Club of Anytown isn't doing anything wrong. It just doesn't appeal to particular segments of the community. And if we're going to thrive for years to come, we must adapt and embrace change. In Anytown, we have an opportunity to expand because potential members are everywhere. More than half of the eligible people are prospective Rotary members, waiting to make a bigger impact in their community. But what Rotary Club exists for them? If Anytown creates new clubs at new times and new places, the hidden potential for Rotary will be revealed. As people of action, we must broaden our reach and provide opportunities to all leaders in the community. Together, all of us can grow Rotary.
So I would love to get your reactions to that video. Would anybody like to make a comment or share a thought? I don't know, am I allowed to unmute people or do you unmute yourselves?
Jenny,
anyone?
We can unmute ourselves.
Hi, Colin.
Easily. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, so thanks for hosting this session. Couple quick reactions. We in the Capitol Hill Club in Washington, we've seeded 2 additional clubs. The DuPont Circle Club, which is great. They're a happy hour club, and it's exactly what the video said. They didn't, we all know there are breakfast people, there are early morning risers, and there are many others who are not. And so
that's right.
We're a Tuesday morning now, twice a month club, and they are, I believe they may be a weekly.
They are
in the evenings, and the other one was Federal City. I'm not sure that one's working out, but
it's coming back.
It's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're all for that approach. I think primarily we're looking at Capitol Hill how to grow our own club,
mm-hmm.
and we have a target this year of a 25% membership increase from 24 to 32.
Bravo.
That's the goal. But we are also exploring. We have, Sean's in our club, Sean McAllister, and he wants
mm-hmm.
to start an e-club, I think it is. So
yes,
we're also considering that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and what is exciting is that we started an e-club for our district, and you would be surprised there are not as many e-clubs in the Rotary world as you would guess at this point in the game. I believe the first official Rotary e-club was chartered in 2002. I get their newsletter all the time. They are very, very active. They have a foundation. These people are uber squared away. They do require, I forget what their attendance policy is, but they do actually require a particular number of meetings. And I love following them. And what's interesting is I think in this day and age with the COVID situation is what's going to drive a lot of clubs to investigate an e-club. However, we do have one in the district, and it is their president is Kelsey Scanlon, and she's an interesting young lady because she was actually a president of another club, and things just they were going through a lot of transition pieces, and she decided that she was ready to move in a different direction. And so over the course of last year, we worked on helping her establish an e-club. And I thought it was going to charter last year under DG Barton, but it chartered at the very, very beginning of this year. So it was very exciting. I'm really proud of them. And their goal, from what I understand currently, is that they will do service projects in each other's areas. So let's say, for example, there are 12 areas in the district, right? And anybody from the district is welcome to join this e-club. And over time, one of their goals is that's what they're going to do. They're going to engage their members by sponsoring different activities. So they're brand new, they're just getting off their feet. And I just want to make a point. I don't know if all of you can see this, but evidently a timer situation went a little bit awry. So it looks like we might get kicked out of our session, but then we're going to restart our session. So in about 5 minutes, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but just hold tight, they're going to fix it. So thank you for sharing, Colin. I think that's a really great example. I know that Annapolis Rotary, they have done some interesting things. They had an Annapolis evening club and a satellite club. Carroll Creek has seeded the Brunswick Club. Fredericktown in Frederick County, they actually were the ones that helped get Carroll Creek started. And I think one of the things that, if you are one of those clubs that was the group that helped lay the foundation for another club, that you find time in your calendar, maybe not every year, but I think every year is reasonable, but on major anniversaries of your club, that you invite this other club back to say thank you. You know, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here. Maybe that's not the whole truth, but there's nothing wrong with clubs that came from other clubs saying thank you to the club that supported them. And it helps improve the Rotary family feeling. So moving on, as you can see, all of you have access to this membership page. And so right here are the best resources to help increase your club's value. We're talking about growing Rotary. You can grow Rotary very easily via new club formats that we'll review briefly later, but these are also the foundations. Assess your club. Additionally, when I was talking to people in clubs and also doing surveying of the club, the first thing that I would ask clubs that were struggling is, have you asked your members lately how they feel about it? Because you might find what the trigger points are in terms of why people are leaving your club, but additionally, why they're not banging down people's doors and dragging them to your club because they're so excited to be a member of the club. And the vast majority of them, again, it was very, very low. Less than 20% of clubs reported that they do annual member engagement surveys. Okay, that's not the end of the world, because you guys kind of have a feel for how your club is doing. But do you really? I mean, I'm one of those people that hates confrontation. So if you ask me in a public meeting how I feel about stuff, I'm going to be a trooper and keep the positive face on. But if you give me an opportunity to type in some comments or click a couple buttons, I might tell you that, you know what, I'm kind of tired of listening to people who come in and talk about spaceships all the time. I don't know, I'm just making that up, right? But
Right.
this gives your club an opportunity to say, you know what, we really need to think about who we're inviting in to speak to our clubs, or we really need to think about offering our members a monthly service activity versus a quarterly activity. Or you know what? Nobody's really hip on selling puppies to raise money. We need to find another big fundraiser. So here you are right here. Assess your club. Now, the reason why I'm taking you through this page, guys, even though it's available to everybody, is because even when I was coming up as president, I knew we had a website and I knew it had information, but I never dove deeply into this cool, beautiful lake of info. And I know that this is a common issue because when I'm talking to clubs, they look at me like, wow, this is the best thing ever. And I know that feeling. So check this little humdinger out. It's called the Club Planning Assistant. Look at it. Welcome to Club Planning Assistant. We know Rotary Club leaders face a variety of challenges, from growing Rotary to making a difference in communities around the world. We have resources that can help. Of these, which is the biggest challenge you as a club leader face so far? All right, let's click on attracting members. And then you hit continue. Our club members reflect the community's diversity in gender, age, education, profession, and ethnicity. And you're like, who makes up our club? Yeah, I don't know. But I want to put in a little point really quick here. I am really tired of hearing Rotarians lambast the white old man thing. It's overplayed. And you know, every time you say that, that's ageist. It might be an issue, it might be a concern in Rotary, but that's not how you talk about it. Because those people are still Rotarians. So when you say things like that, it's disrespectful, right? It's like a slap in the face to some of them. It's not okay.
Thanks, Jennifer.
You want to
I'd be one of those people.
Yeah, I get tired of it because, you know, a lot of these white, pasty old men that they talk about have been the backbone of a lot of Rotary clubs. And if they're still in Rotary, they're still fighting for Rotary. So there's a better way to say we need to add diversity. And that's not by saying because we don't want to look like that. All you do is you focus on the positive, okay? Because white, pasty old men are still human beings too. So it's gotten to the point now where I've actually stopped people when they've said that, and I'm finding a professional and a positive way to reframe that. And when you hear that kind of dialogue going on in your club, you need to stop it as well, okay? Because people 60 and over outnumber. In Frederick County, there are more seniors 60 and over in Frederick County than there are kids in K through college. So you're telling me that whole demographic isn't worth your time? That's inaccurate. They are still very active. They are more active than even the generation before them. And they have a lot left to offer Rotary in their communities, okay? So I didn't mean to get on a soapbox for old pasty white men. It's the concept, okay? So let's say, for example, I say no. And you click on it. It says your club might not be attracting new members because it doesn't represent the diversity. Take the Building Diverse Club online course. And then it sends you to this course. And it's a wonderful course. Then you hit continue. Our club prioritizes inclusion as well as diversity. And you think, maybe I don't even know what inclusion is. Here's the thing. Diversity is when you ask everybody to the table. Inclusion is when you give everybody a voice. Everybody. But that's still not good enough, guys. Because equity and equality is truly the hallmark of the first two. Giving everybody an equal voice. I've been, not just in Rotary, but I've been in plenty of situations where, yes, as a woman, I was invited to the table. And yes, as a woman, I was invited to speak. But there were plenty of times I know darn well I was not given an equal amount of time to share my thoughts because I was a woman, right? And I'm not trying to do the woe is women thing here, but it's a reality. So if that happens to a white woman, you can imagine how other people who are not even white feel at the diversity inclusion table. So keep that in mind. So if I say no, look at this. It gives you a Gallup survey. And then down at the bottom, it says, take the Committee to Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion course to learn more. Amazing. Our meetings, social events, and projects are thoughtfully planned, well-attended, and fun. And I say no. Look at this. It says, it tells you ideas that you can do to change that. And then it says, learn more at Rotary/flexibility. And then it also gives you the Rotary Health Club check as another great way to identify areas to make changes in. You hit continue. We have an online presence, including a public facing website, blah, blah, you know, Facebook and all this. And I'll say, no, look at this. Quick start guide for club websites. Information on Brand Center. Information on Club Public Image Committee basics. Continue. Guests feel welcome at our club. I don't know. Well, refer to this guide on creating a positive experience for more ideas, and remember to talk to your guests after your meetings. Continue. We cultivate meaningful relationships with prospects. I don't know. Look here, down at the bottom. Strategies for attracting new members. Continue. We focus on someone's potential when considering them for membership. Yes. Thank you for being so open-minded. Now, check this out. You can go to Rotary Grow and Thrive, another link. We review and follow up with the membership candidates that our district assigns to our club. Okay, that's what I'm doing for you. And then you say no. And then it says, did you know that each year thousands of prospects express their interest in joining? And then they're forwarded to the districts and assigned to clubs. And then it gives you a story about one club's success. And then it gives you the online membership leads course on how to work it. Let me tell you something. Before I took over as the person that dealt with those leads last year, because Barton Goldenberg was, I mean, that's his life. This is what he does, is CRM, right? We had leads that were dating all the way back to like 2015 that had never been contacted by our district. So I scooped them all up at one time. We actually inducted 4 people from 2017 last year, a couple from 2018, and like 1 from the 2019 year. It wasn't because necessarily the district, sometimes the district didn't forward them, and that could have just been they slipped through the cracks somehow. But the vast majority of it was the clubs were told about these people, and the clubs didn't ask them to participate in a club meeting. And when I talked to a couple of clubs about it, this was their attitude. Well, we don't know them. Well, your club isn't built just by friends alone. It's built by people who are engaged, right? These people, if you're getting a lead from the district, AKA me for the time being, that means that those people got online, purposely said, I want to be a Rotarian. How much better is that? Continue. Our clubs keep in contact with former Rotaractors. No. Continue, because most of us don't. It's a weakness in our membership plan. And I'm not sure what's going on, but if you've been on the RI website lately, they're still doing updates, so this kind of thing happens occasionally. So I'm just going to back out of it. But the point is, use the club planning assistant. How much better can that get? Does anybody have any feedback or thoughts about just showing that one aspect under the membership page?
Jenny, Nellie Arrington with Sunrise of Ellicott City.
Hi.
I just put a question in chat box, but we've had a couple who, you know, we've contacted multiple times. Several of us have contacted, and we hear absolute crickets from them.
Right.
I was just, and that's not, I'm used to that. I run a business where that's not unusual. What do you have any idea what our capture rate is on those leads now that we're actually, presumably, working them?
So you're probably not going to believe me, but Peter Kyle could probably speak to it. Maybe, how about Peter, would you mind making a couple of comments on it?
Well, in fact, I've just sent an answer to Nellie's question in the chat box, but by mistake, I sent it to you, Jenny, and not to everyone.
Oh,
Jenny Coppett, I think, has the record in the whole of North America, the hundreds of districts in North America, having achieved the highest capture rate of membership leads anywhere. She does an amazing job. I think the capture rate is around 70%, Jenny?
yeah.
That is way higher than the North American average. We owe Jenny
No, you don't.
a bit of gratitude because she does a fabulous job, and she's well able to help everybody on the call with their membership leads program. So reach out.
So internationally, what I was told probably halfway through the year last year, because Barton Goldenberg actually got called up to Chicago, and I'm sure it was for a number of different things, and he made a presentation about what we were doing. From what I understand it, internationally the capture rate is about 5%.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, and ours was very, very high. But you have to understand too that, and this is where I get really frustrated, and I might sound like I'm on my high horse and being kind of snotty about it, is because I get frustrated because, honest to goodness, I was spending probably about 30 to 40 hours a week on top of my other job doing leads management for the district. And I would send clubs these leads and they weren't following up on them, or they weren't giving information. You have to understand that people will get on my Rotary and they'll say, I really want to learn more about Rotary, and they fill it out. Well, now they're a lead and I'm tracking that lead and assigning them a club. But you're right. I think it was Nellie that was saying this. They go dead cold, and that's okay. That's okay. That doesn't mean we failed. Where we fail is if we don't continue to go after that lead, I feel, at least 3 times. So for me to even assign your club, there are leads, I kid you not, where I email them, I follow it up with a phone call. This is what was happening. I emailed them, followed up with a phone call, emailed them again when I didn't hear anything in 2 weeks, followed up with a phone call when I didn't hear back from them in a week, emailed them again, followed up with a phone call. When then I started thinking, forget this. I was sitting at the Denver airport and I couldn't be making all these phone calls. So I did this huge text, right? Do you know that by the time I got off my flight and got to my parents' house up in the mountains, that my phone had exploded with responses. So clearly there are a lot of people that don't like talking on the phone to a stranger the first time, but texting feels safer to them. So now what I do is I email them, I still call, because that's really a professional thing to do.
Yeah.
Then I followed up with a text, and I will do that for 2 cycles. After that point, if I have not heard from them, I'm the one that goes into DAC-DB and into Rotary International, and I say they're not interested in Rotary anymore. That's okay. But guys, I handed off something like, I'd have to go back. I have numbers in my head for membership. They get jumbled sometimes. Let's just say, I think I handed off well over 200 leads to different clubs this year. And if we were able to convert all those, we would not be the district that has, well, our attrition rate is an issue, but our attraction rate is our biggest problem. We wouldn't have an attraction rate that was shocking, right? But there's 2 things that go on here. Haven't we all said that we're interested in something and then decided now's not the time, right? And so you ghost people, meaning you never respond to their emails or text, or you block them or whatever it might be. The other thing that I hear from leads when I follow up from them is that they got an uncomfortable response from the club, almost like, well, they reached out to me, but the tone just was off. Like they didn't really want to contact me, but they had to. Well, in the back of my mind, I'm laughing because that's pretty much what Barton was telling people, right? And so what I did was, on a number of them, probably on a dozen of them even, was I redeveloped that relationship with kindness, empathy, and all the other good stuff that goes into it. And I just redirected them to another club. And then shabam, I want to say 6 of them actually ended up being inducted into clubs that were not necessarily closer to them. So it is all about how you reach out to the clubs, to the prospects. You can't reach out to them and treat it like they're a business client necessarily. You have to reach out to them as you're so excited because this person is the best friend of your sister's. You got to put it all in. You know, people they want to sense kindness and positivity. They don't want to feel like another business cold call. So keep that in mind. But in the interest of time, I want to show you some more things. Rotary Health Club check. That is basically a way to look at how your club is doing, and assuming that we can do this. Can you see this page?
Yes.
Okay, so it's basically a survey, but it's meant for like like you could do this with your board. It asks you, do you look forward to meetings? You know, some of the members of the club are my close friends, and all this kind of stuff. And then it tells you a prognosis. So if club meetings are an issue for you, it gives you a prescription, folks. If it says, then when you go to service and socials, depending on the answers that your club gives there, it gives you a prescription on what you can do to improve opportunities for service or improve social activities. And these are all tools that I've shared with, you know, multiple clubs over the past year, almost year and a half. And it just blows their mind because when they are able to take the time to do it, they see very positive results. So if you go down here to Is Your Club Healthy? This is a learning center course. I have done this. I don't know why it's making me do that. And I've had trouble with my password. So anyway, but sometimes, you know, there are clubs that do club days, and there's nothing wrong with your club taking a learning center course as a club day and then discussing, right? If your club is doing the same thing over and over again, why not put that up on a screen, or now especially that we're doing things online, and running this 15-minute thing and then having a discussion about it. So then going down here, there's a whole section on how you can engage your current members. Okay, so we actually have a pretty decent number of people that stay versus leave. Okay, however, we are seeing members leaving, right? It's the time of COVID. And we can say, oh, well, you know, it's those pasty old white men again. They don't know how to use the computer. Well, give me a break. Like, I'm getting ready to turn 50 and I use the computer a lot at work, but I'm really anxious right here. Like, I keep seeing something flash about chat rooms, and, you know, I'm trying to manage so many things. It's difficult, right? So if that's me having like high blood pressure, imagine what it's like for people who don't have to use this kind of technology over and over again. There's nothing wrong with them. There's something wrong with us if we think there's something wrong with them. So I sent out a big club survey about 2 weeks ago to send out to help clubs who don't do engagement surveys get some basic information from their people. And I had a guy who is a 91-year-old Rotarian, and he emailed me and he said, I don't know how to use technology. Can I do this over the phone? And I thought, well, you just emailed me, right? And so, which means he's not completely technologically incompetent. So I walked him through it. That guy walked away feeling like a rock star, right? So it doesn't take much to help your older club members who are not tech savvy. So it gives you all sorts of stuff on how to practice flexibility and innovation, which is a big one with Rotary International. Innovative club forms, how to improve your member retention, understand why your members leave. So I don't know of very many clubs that actually do an exit survey with members who are leaving. Has anybody done one in this group? Do your clubs ask members via survey, like an exit interview, why they're leaving? Because it's really easy for them to just say, well, you know, I'm really busy. That might be the case, but they probably have some other things going on too, because if people love Rotary, they work around Rotary. So like Ashley Waters, okay, she has a child, she's married, I mean, I see her social media, I know what she's involved in, and that woman, I don't know how she does it, plus works for city government in a time of COVID. But she is so entrenched in her club that it probably never occurs to her to back out. Because if she did, I would think the first thing she would drop is her public image chair position within the district. So she feels a passion for Rotary, right? So you want to find out what is it that our club could be doing a little bit differently or consider that keeps somebody like Ashley, who's a huge asset to any organization. How can we keep her? And then down here, how to connect with prospective members. When we're talking about growing Rotary, this is a huge place to go. How to get your younger professionals, how to attract people, how to discover Rotary. Here's another one, finding new club members. Please load up. And I bet you it won't. Look at this. Tells you all about how to do it. Step 1 through step 4. You click on these things down here, it takes you to documents that you can use with your club. It even gives you the worksheet, folks. Gives you ideas of where to find these people. All right, so tons of assets on here.
Yeah,
Then
where
if
is
you-
this exactly? I'm sorry.
This is, if you're on Rotary International and you go to the membership page, all of you have access to it. Then if you go down here to follow your membership candidates, this tells you all about how to follow your leads, how to connect to your leads. And I'm not going to go too deep into that because that can become overwhelming for people. And not everybody in your club works on this part, but it's a great place to visit. And then it has a whole section on what you can do to make new members feel welcome. Oftentimes what I see in clubs, and I've been in a club that, or am in a club that, it's very easy to do this, okay? It doesn't matter what club you are. But we are so focused on getting people in the door, right? And then we induct them and it's kind of like, whew, okay, who else can we get in? And we forget to nurture and onboard our new members. And you really have to spend a lot of time with them. You really want to get them connected as soon as possible. And right here gives you phenomenal assets to use. Then the next section has tons of details on how to develop your club, how to be vibrant, so that you keep these people. And it also has information on your membership plan. And it has a learning center course that will teach you how to create that plan that I so desperately want all clubs to have. Now, Rotary International, you know, their theme isn't, you know, how to grow Rotary via your club. They're talking about how to grow Rotary by starting a new club that you nurture from your club, okay? And it gives you lots of opportunities and club types. And you can click on this and check this bad boy out. You could start a traditional club, a satellite club, an e-club, passport club, corporate clubs, cause-based clubs, alumni-based clubs, and Rotaract clubs are now part of this. And then you can, over here to the right, you see the blue link and it gives you all the information step by step. So for example, cause-based clubs, there is a group of people that I am currently working with, interestingly, and I'm the one that brought it to their attention. But, you know, and I know it could cause a stir with people, but just bear with me. We have a very large LGBTQ community in the DC, Maryland, in this area of the country. We tend to be very, very welcoming to a lot of different kinds of people, right? Well, we have significant numbers of people that identify with LGBTQ, okay? So that could be a cause-based club where they gather and they focus on causes that are near and dear to their heart. Sahar, who was, I forget if she was Germantown or Rockville, she is developing a women's and children's focus-based club. And it is a satellite club right now. So there are lots of different ways that you can set up clubs. And they don't have to be official clubs. They can be satellites, folks. And a satellite, anybody who's in a satellite club actually counts toward your club's membership. And in my research and conversation with clubs around the world, there are satellite clubs, guys, that have no intention of ever chartering themselves. They are perfectly happy to be a satellite club and have the support of a larger club, okay? So just because they're a satellite doesn't mean that they're gonna go and form a club. They can be an asset and a resource to your club. And then before I open it up some more to you guys, it has a whole section on how to stay up to date via Rotary membership information. Look here, I get this membership minute newsletter, tons of great information. Check this out, the membership development best practices group, wonderful. I talk to people from all over the world about membership here. And then down here, it has lots of tools for club leaders, district leaders. You can see your reports. You can just find all sorts of stuff. And you guys have access to this page. But I highly recommend, if you're one of the clubs that is struggling and you feel like you're just thrashing around in an active drowning scenario, I would start right here. Do you see that? Club Planning Assistant, and utilize the tools that it is offering you. So anybody want to open it up?
Jenny, I have a question. Do you see a difference in the retention of members that come from digital leads versus other forms of recruitment?
Well, you have to remember, I don't know that I can actually speak to that right now because we didn't really nail down digital leads until this past year. So it's difficult, I feel like, to say what that might look like until maybe next year or the year after. But from what I understand, what's interesting, because I have stayed in touch with a number of them, is they are on fire. They are really impassioned. And I think it goes back to the fact that they reached out to us. They reached out to us. We didn't go trying to drag the doctor next door into our club. They came to us. So I just feel like if I'm able to send your club a lead, you should, try to jump all over that, because they came to us because they want to be a part of you.
I just was thinking back to my first year Rotary 25 years ago, when the club I went to as a speaker exceeded my expectation of what I thought it was. And I think each and every time we exceed the expectation, and we've had tremendous luck lately in the last year with text, like you're saying, people respond to text. I think it's a great idea to have the whole club text a new person, welcome them into the club, because people come, they don't feel like they're welcome. I've heard that so many times.
Right.
People that, they just don't get that warm, fuzzy feeling when they come to a meeting.
Right.
Well, you're going to go to the meeting, and all of a sudden, you get 10 people that say, hey, looking forward to meeting you tomorrow or whenever, And this
Yes.
Zoom, I know we've had a few glitches this morning, but this is a tremendous opportunity to grow our district, our personal clubs, and the Rotary in general, because it's so easy to just go to a meeting anytime, you know? I mean, I'd love to see new ideas come out of this, where maybe we have like a little infomercial on TV where people can go to a club that never would know about us. 'Cause, you know, that's the biggest thing when people are talking about Rotary. Most people, even Rotarians, have a hard time with a good elevator speech about what we
Jenny,
are.
we're almost out of time, 5 seconds. So thank you, Steve.
Come to the membership summit.
Welcome back, everyone. If you want to take a few minutes to stretch your legs, and we're waiting for Jimmy to come and close the session.
You can take the
That's 12:35.
I'm here.
Oh, Jimmy, you're here. Welcome.
Oh, Jimmy. I thought you said Jenny, and I thought, oh my
No.
gosh, I didn't know I was supposed to close anything.
No.
District
You're here.
Governor Jenny Coppett is for another 2 or 3 years.
One day, maybe one day.
Thank you for that phenomenal presentation, Jenny. Really appreciated it. That was great.
Jimmy or Jenny?
Jenny.
Oh, okay.
J to the E to the double N to the IE.
Hey.
I even got up and took a shower this morning for this little humdinger.
You're fresh as
That's
a daisy.
good. It's good.
8:30 is an early morning for me.
There you go. On Saturday.
And we're glad you did.
Jenny, that was really good. I appreciate that.
It was a lot. I wanted to have more conversation amongst the group because I really want to hear from people, but there's so much information. I just feel like people aren't aware of it.
Maybe.
Thank you, Nellie.
Jenny, maybe what we do later is those of us who are membership get together with you on a Zoom chat without maybe much of an agenda, but talk about the different issues we're in. Because my suspicion is that while we are in different areas and maybe different age demographics, we all have similar issues
Yes.
with our membership.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you, Nellie, because,
Yeah.
I know each and every club has its own issues with membership. Now, for example, it's the same with my club, the Fredericktown Rotary. When I joined in, 8 years ago, we had a member of, 40 people in it. And now we are kind of reduced to 12 active members.
Yeah.
And there's a different issue altogether. And these 12 active members are completely exhausted.
Yes.
Because we are doing everything ourselves. And Jenny did bring up a very good issue here, in a sense that, I know that we have to go out and look for new members. Jenny, thank you for giving us one member, Shamar. He's awesome. And we are taking good care of him, but that is not enough to run the whole club. So I think we really need to talk about a lot of issues.
And Lynn, to your point, I think of your club a lot because you're a club of aging Rotarians, right? Like when I went out to visit there, they were that stereotypical club that everybody acts like is the end of the world, the pasty white old man. And it just aggravates me to no end because those people in your club have so much history and they don't want to step up and be president again because they've done it 3 times already in their Rotary life. But here's
exactly
the thing I expect is those folks have been Rotarians for 30 and 40 years, some of them. So how dare any of us talk about pasty white old men? You want to talk about diversity and inclusion? We can do that without lambasting a group of people that have been dedicated. All you do is minimize club engagement and service above self when you make pasty white old men feel like they're not valued anymore and they need to be replaced, right? So there's a better way to do that. And your club reminds me all the time that there are ways that you can engage your quote unquote older / senior Rotarians in meaningful service without them having to be the president. And what I've told some people at the RI level is this, you know, clubs start to decline when club leaders burn out, right? When the president feels like they have to do everything, that's not a strong club, and they should have and should still reach out to somebody like me that can point them into other resources. But
I'm going to need to interrupt because it's 12:35 and Jimmy is behind us. So
Welcome back, Jimmy.
I'm going to mute everybody and unmute our district governor and allow her to make our final sessions here. So it's final remarks. Jimmy, I'd like to offer the floor back to you. There you are. You have to unmute. Still muted. Let me see if I can't get that for you. I think that's something you need to do yourself.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Got it now?
Yep. Oh, good.
Okay, good. Yeah, that sounded like Jen. That sounded wonderful. What you were saying, I came in at a good time, I guess, or maybe a bad time since I had to cut you off. But thank you for those words. We want to say thanks to Terry Weaver. I'll be going back over to the other room in just a couple of minutes and thanking him for his program that he's been doing with the AGs, but also thank him with our morning opening session. I think we got a lot of information from him, and a different approach. And I think that whenever we're talking about membership and we're talking about changing cultures of clubs, I think these are some things that we need. We need some new ideas, some new approaches. Not that we haven't been faithful in the past, trying some things that we haven't done before, but we need to move forward to some other suggestions. And I am really glad that we're going to be approaching our membership summit on September 19th. So that's one of the dates I wanted to tell you about, but I digress. I'd like to personally thank our district trainers and our education committee members. They spent many hours going through all these plans, and you know probably that we were cut off in April whenever the governor closed our venue. And so we've been working hard to plan a virtual program. I think this is probably one of the biggest ones that we've done, with over 177 people. I saw some new people that were not included in the 177. So I know that we went higher than that, but I just don't know how much higher. But I'm so pleased with that count. The attendee rate was better than it's ever been for our club leadership training. So, and our trainers were Aisha Ariana, and then Chris Zabriskie and Pam Crease. They were either our trainers or members of our education committee. And I thank Peter Kyle, our director, who was here for us and supporting us. He has a lot of districts to support, and we certainly appreciate his joining us and helping us and seeing our needs. Our facilitators, again, we have Chris Zabriskie, who's the president of the La Plata Club, and then Ashley Waters, who is our district public image and public relations chair. Jeff Neufeld is the treasurer of the Annapolis Club, and Jennifer Coppett is our district membership chair. I just heard from her a few minutes ago. And then Sonia Liu, who is our district secretary and our DAC-DB person, and taking care and covering our youth initiatives, which all of you know I'm very much interested in. Monique Trissant, who is the District Rotary Chair, and Marilyn Neve Cruz, who's the District Interact Chair and also the RILA Chair, who has, by the way, since July 1, brought in 3 new Interact clubs. Now, we're in the middle of COVID, and many of the schools aren't even opening all the way, or opening at all. And she's been able to do that. So I certainly say hats off to you. Our new District Youth Exchange Program Chair is Rick Meyer, and he was here today and sharing his ideas. Thank you so much. All of our area governors, I think, all of you who are here, our Rotaractors, we are absolutely delighted to have you with us, to have you among our numbers, and to share ideas with you, and to have you share ideas with us, and oftentimes a new perspective. And then I just draw attention to the background. This is the backdrop of the Annapolis Harbor, and I have it permanently on my Zoom account because I want you to remember that we are planning a district conference in April the 23rd through the 25th, and it's going to be in Annapolis. And we are coming down the street, West Street, and whenever you do that, you can walk the distance to the harbor, and it's right here with us. And also, I mentioned the membership summit on September 19th, but also we're going to be planning a big celebration for polio, and that's going to be October the 24th. So in the next 2 months, there are 2 more things coming up, and we want to keep these things coming, keep us involved, keep us doing good work. And if you're interested in helping out on any of these things that we're doing at the district level, we want new people involved. So let us know, any of the committee chairs or certainly me. Again, thank you so very much. Appreciate it. And we got you out by half a day, but I think we really did some terrific work. Thanks again.
Awesome.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Good
Bye
job.
now.
Thanks,
Bye.
Cheryl. Fantastic.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Look, everybody.
For those who haven't seen it yet, there's a feedback survey in the chat. Please click on it, find it, and I'll repost it here at the bottom so it's easy to find. But we do like to know what you thought about this training, what you think we can do better next time. And if you want to help next time, we'll take any help or suggestions you have as well.
Great job, guys.
Thank you.
Indeed. All right, take care.
Survey, it's pretty easy.
I'm leaving now to go back to the other meeting.
Bye, Jimmy.
Bye-bye now.
We'll catch up later, Jimmy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. So nice having you all.
Okay,
Oops.
bye-bye.
My voice is, I was losing it.
Are we finished?
We are done. Yes, thank
Well,
you.
take care.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks, I'm going to stay
Bye,
on.
everyone.
Everybody's
Thank
dropped
you.
off, just in case anybody
Thank
has any
you.
questions.
Bye-bye.
Teresa?
Anybody wants to join the club, the leadership, the training team, we're happy to take applicants and volunteers.
Hey, Jenny, Jenny, we had 4 people from my club come today. We have a new member submitted an application this week, a new member submitting one next week, and then hopefully 3 weeks from now, another one. So that's 6 new members this year.
Congrats.
Woohoo! See ya.
Bye.
Down to 17.
Yeah, I'm closing my other accounts. I'll keep just one. I don't think I need the others anymore.
She is a perfect example of everything I recommended that club do. They have done it, and it's paying off. I mean, it's not about me, don't get me wrong, but everything that I've pulled together for them, they've executed. It's amazing. And it's not even my creation, it's just funneling the information.
Yeah, but you do a great job of sharing it and helping others, Jenny.
And Jenny, we really need your help with our club.
I'm so glad that you were on that call because I have been meaning to reach out to your club for over a month to talk.
We are going through transition. So we are doing everything that we can in order to raise membership. It's either make or break at this point of time, and we are giving ourselves up to December to see what can be done.
Well, if you ever want to meet in person, I'm happy to do that someplace that's socially appropriate.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah, let me know when. My schedule is very open except for Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I do a ton of programming at the Y, but Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I can flex anywhere from 10 to 8 o'clock at night.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you my phone number so that you have that.
I'm ready.
It's Jenny Coppett. And also bear in mind that many people dropped out because of COVID. And we have a couple of old folks who also have dropped out or moved away. So that is an issue.
But here's the thing is, and I'm finding this at the Y, right? Because we are losing members. I mean, it's very stressful for us at the Y because we're health and wellness, and we truly feel that we are mission based, right? We're healthy mind, healthy spirit, mind, and body. And especially when it came to seniors, what I was really happy about when they tasked me with care and keeping of seniors in Frederick is when I have spent time going back to members that have lost and explain to them what the Y can still do, we've actually gotten some of them back because they see the value in their membership. And so it's a uphill climb and it's labor intensive, but at the same time, it's a different situation than Rotary. But I really do think that there are plenty of times where members have left because they feel like, well, it's not going to be worth my time, or they're afraid for their health. But it's just a matter of clubs communicating and finding out what their members can do that's going to make them still feel safe.
Yeah, and another thing is, the same members are stepping up for projects and whatnot, and that is aggravating other members as well. So I'm lost.
Yeah, but you know what? I was really proud that you guys decided to fight back, because I didn't even know that you guys were going to pull your charter. I was shocked that nobody told me that. I was blown away. I had no idea that had happened or was about to happen. And so I had said to a couple people, like, that's not okay. Like, I feel like if a club is about to pull their charter and I'm not even aware of it, that means that we as a district weren't even given a true opportunity to come in and do some life support, right? Like, you wouldn't let a patient die in the ER because the ER doctor didn't know what to do. You would call in an expert and whatever was going to result in his death. And I came and spoke to you guys about membership.
Yes.
But I was not involved in helping you go back through and reconsider your strategic plan.
We are trying our level best to revive, and if we don't, just bear in mind that I live at the Greens, which is very close to Newmarket. So there is another club that is in Newmarket, which I can be a member of, and there's another one in Urbana, which is very close to me, that I can be a member of, but I don't want to give up as yet.
Right. Well, and I've had some very beginning conversations with my club. I'm the Newmarket Club. And with how could the Newmarket Club help the Fredericktown Club, and, you know, basically vice versa, not necessarily combined, but how can the two clubs work together on mutually benefit programs? So,
Yeah, I mean, I don't even mind combining that. It's actually a very good idea. We would have meetings, half month here and half a month there.
Yep.
I mean, again, this is something that we'll have to sit down and talk, Jenny.
I'm happy to do that. I'll call you later.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, folks.
Bye, Lynn.
Thank you.
Bye.
I'm gonna-
Bye.
I'm gonna
Bye,
close
Chris,
the
and
meeting
bye,
now.
Aisha. Yep, it's very nice meeting
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Very nice meeting you too.
Jenny, are you familiar what to do with the recording?
No.
When I close the meeting, it's going to save a file on your computer. I think it's going to probably create a Zoom file if you don't already have one. What I would ask you to do is, and it's going to be huge. It's going to be like 500 meg or whatever. Just save it to like a Google Drive and send the link to me to share it with me, with my email.
Oh my
And then-
gosh, I'm the one recording right now.
You are? Yeah.
No, you were the one recording in your own session.
It was recording your session, but it also kept recording when we came back here. I'll edit all that stuff out.
Yeah, please.
It'll take a while, but
You want me to stop it right now?
yeah, you can stop it now.